welcome. For not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Become a member. There's lots of perks. Wraithax, WTH domain name over there, and Steve Cannon Photo. That the second one will be bought this weekend. Then we will have one left out of the three. Absolutely fantastic. So we have a couple things going on today. We'll start off with the OMI, and we'll see how it did compared to the markets at large. Then we'll go over to see why Veve's not doing advertising and why the advertising hasn't, even though David said on Veve Magic's channel like a month or two ago, hey, we just got approved for this advertising. Why did it take so long? Why haven't we done it yet? I think it has a little bit more to do than just the money or lack of money or wanting to spend that money. So I have an idea about that. It goes way back to the meeting I had last year. It was not my whales, although I did meet a bunch of whales in there in general, which is how I know we're going to the moon. Anyway, we have that. We have what whales are stacking, what whales are doing, collectibles I see moving, and all that jazz. So to start, OMI is up about 2.2% on the day at 00093. So the OMI, I feel like it's like guys that casually go to the gym. And the guys that casually go to the gym, they're gaining and losing the same, like 10 to 15 pounds each year. Like, oh, I'm bulking. It's like, oh, I'm too fat, I'm gonna cut. And they constantly still do that. So I feel like OMI's pretty much the same way, where, oh, it's up 2% today, oh, it's down 3% today, oh, it's up 4%, et cetera, et cetera. And I do have more, I guess I'll go over the Tesla as well. It came up in my memories from 3 years ago. So this is, I was having a conversation with a whale today, the newest whale. He's got like 30 million OMI. He doesn't have a ton. He'll be getting more, and he has like a whole Bitcoin. So he's got technically more in OMI than he has in Bitcoin. However, he has spent more on his one Bitcoin than he did on OMI. The OMI he put in maybe $20,000. Now he's at 30,000, give or take. And now the bit he spent like 35 on. Now he has 25, give or take. So. And this is what it does. People be like, oh, well, OMI's doing better. Might as well do that. And, that's fine for something like OMI, because I think OMI's going to outperform almost everything, with the exception of maybe Bump if that gets mass produced. I did a podcast with the Bumper CEO the other day. It could be really cool. I think a lot of I don't think people are ready for it yet. I think there's a lot of big firms that are going to use it. There'll be a lot of people that are in the crypto space in general that'll use it, that have been around for a while. Crypto Rain, Dr. Stuff, Aria Realty. And then there'll be people like the big firms when they can get a translator for them to understand it. They're like, okay, here's how I mitigate my downside. Here's how I mitigate my risk. Let me use Bumper, make everything bumpered ETH, bumpered OMI. And they will be coming out with a bumpered version of OMI at some point, which is really cool. Like the fact that I mentioned it, and he's like, oh, OMI's on our list. Like, we're ready to do it. We just have these other things to do first, but we want to do OMI. I was like, so I was kind of almost joking, saying, let me tell you about OMI. And he's like, oh no, we already know about OMI. It's well on our radar. I was like, oh, this is great. Anyway, go watch that podcast. A lot of info. Anyway, what I've seen last time is that I remember with the Disney Golden Moments, because that had so many of them, they were just like, oh, well, listen, Golden Moments don't really grow. It's been like a month. Like, people are so silly. Like, it's been a month, and my investment to Homer Simpson hasn't grown like 50%. It's like, Jesus, bro, it's been a month. But, at that time, 2 years ago, everything was growing. So people are like, okay, I'm going to get out of Homer Simpson because he's grown like $1, and I'm going to put it into these things that have already grown, like 50%, 80%. And then, well, what happens? Well, because the other stuff had already grown that much, people kind of sell, they take profit, and then they buy the Golden Moments, and, people miss that pump. So that's what I kind of feel that some people are going to do with OMI. Be like, well, or with other things, like, hey, OMI's not growing the way I want it to. When Moon, like Randy Chavez has so much, a bunch of whales have so much, why isn't it moving? When Moon? And then I feel like something else is going to take off first, whatever it is. So how long do I think we have down here? We will be rolling out new things every quarter. The bronze tickets should be next quarter. If it's not, it'll be Q1, but there will be other things that'll be announcements for OMI. Even if they're not brought out, even if they're not rolled out, they'll go and announce something next quarter as well. We might even have a small announcement this quarter, something for about Veveverse when they have different people. They'll say, hey, more invites rolled out. I forget who it was. Somebody was talking about Earth, because obviously I've been heavily involved in the Earth 2 community. I was one of the biggest influencers. Still technically am, but they are. Someone said something about their metaverse. I was like, oh well, what about Omi's Veve's metaverse? Like, and somebody was just like, well, we're not really allowed to share photos yet. And someone's like, oh, so it doesn't exist. And it's really weird. A lot of people have that attitude where like, oh yeah, they're saying they're doing this, but if there's no proof, then it doesn't exist. And like, I understand that skepticism, but that's a really big opportunity where Veve and OMI have announced amazing utility for OMI that they're going to do, but they just haven't given timelines on it like they shouldn't. I'm glad that they haven't. And then they also haven't shown people really what it was, even for the people that have gone on and said, hey, I know you announced this is great, but we have MCP points, sure, but we can't use the MCP points, so it doesn't really count as utility. I feel like the FOMO won't hit for a time. So I was telling my newer whale this today. I was like, hey, listen, sure, Bit could go up first. I don't know what goes up first. It could be Bit, could be OMI on some announcement, because OMI's criminally undervalued. Bitcoin is what it is. But we all know at some point that Bitcoin halving, it could go up, it could go up before then, whenever. It'll pump, be massive pump. One will obviously go up first, but I told him that OMI's going to be that victor there as far as what's going to outperform what. And he's got to make a choice. Okay, yeah, Bitcoin, the safest thing you can get in crypto. OMI, I think, is probably safer than 99% of altcoins. I think there are like 15,000 altcoins out there that they all have no utility. There's a bunch of meme coins. But that's something that I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for. When's the last time to buy it under 000 or under 001? Like we're in the 000s now, 009. I would say a couple months. You probably do have a couple months, like unless they go out and announce something crazy at New York Comic Con next month, or they go and announce at some point next quarter. In November, December. I think you have a couple months before that next big announcement, and we might be trading down here for a little while. Because if you look at the chart, it looks like poop. It's $750,000, and the chart, it's trading like a penny stock. Like it's all erratic, it's all crazy. But obviously you have that really big pump, and then over there. I don't know what that was for. I do know a couple people have bought. I've been stacking. I've been adding over the last couple weeks or month, whenever they made that announcement. But yeah, you might have a couple months until we get the bronze tickets. Even the announcement of the bronze tickets. When we actually get those, and I don't know. Even the MCP points, because MCP and the OEP are the same. I think, hey, they're not going to roll out. They're not going to let you use MCP points until they have the bronze tickets, because they're probably both intertwined. So if you go on and you say, okay, well, if they're both intertwined with each other and you don't want to roll out one and leave the other absent, then they're going to have to roll out together. So I think that might be the only reason why they go and roll it out in Q1 as opposed to Q4. But I definitely think they'll have some testing. They'll have some beta about it. Like, hey, these group of testers will try it. But as long as they have the testers for it, I think that's fine. And in Q1, we should also get OMI to accessory in the Veveverse, because the Veveverse, everyone I think should have it by the end of Q4. And then, okay, well, if everyone has Veveverse, they have their home space. And again, it's not going to be this whole fleshed out world at first. It's just going to be the home space. I don't know if you're going to get a skybox at first, or if it's just the home space. But either way, as soon as we get that, then we should be able to have something like that. Anyway, I realize I just talked for like 9 minutes just about the OMI, and there's so much other stuff to go over. Let me take a look at how the rest of the market did real quick, see how OMI matched against that. Bitcoin down about 1.1%, ETH down 0.5, BNB down 0.9, XRP and up 0.1. So everything, it's kind of wishy-washy. Cardano and Solana down over 1%. So it was actually a down day for most of the market, but it's not like a crazy down day. It's just, oh, hey, it's down like 1%. Something. These are fairly negligible. So I don't think that had really anything to do with what OMI was doing. And that's just in the top 10, but go in the top 20, there's nothing crazy either. Nothing's above or below like 2%. and if it is like 2.2%, optimism number 42, 2.7. Anyway, let's go over some of the news here. Oh lordy, we got a lot to talk about. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far. All right, take this. Others overkill. So be advised, I've talked about the gold and silver Veve logo a lot because it's, again, one of the things I think is criminally undervalued. But be advised, if you do get to say, hey, Chavez, I want to go to these parties. I want to do this. But I have a partner that's going to get salty that I'm going to these parties and, they're not. Okay. You're going to have to buy two. Or just tell your partner, hey, listen, I'll tell you everything that I learned. I'll tell you everything. I'll wear a GoPro so you can see everything. Don't do that. But yeah, be advised that could cause some strife in the relationship. Saying like, hey, I have one, my partner doesn't. That's that could be an issue. And how much is that worth? Like I was talking to the Bumper Guy CEO yesterday, and he said, listen, there are some people that lost their relationships because of working for Bumper doing this, and obviously having a gold and silver logo is not as intensive. You're not working. You're just really going out and partying. I guess networking counts as work. But if you have a partner that's going to be super salty that you get to go to these and they're going to give you crap for it, like, okay, well, is that worth it? You got to make your own decision. Because a lot of these, if you have people that want to go to these parties, oh, can I bring my partner as a plus one? One, if you say it for one person, you got to do it for everyone. And then if you go and you say, hey, we have, we can't, yeah. If you just do it for a couple people, oh, why did they get special treatment? Anyway, we have James Pedresci saying, thanks to the Avengers #1 drop and the recent failed withdrawal of funds on my wife's account, now has a better collectible than my best one. Happy to see this dip. And this is a horrible photo, but he has a Todd McFarlane, paid $687 for it. And so shout out to them. Shout out to people going and grabbing that. Got a gift for you. Clever Jerk. Oh my God, this mad lad. I really want Clever Jerk. I want to meet the dude. I want to get him to go to an event, but he's very, very very, very elusive. He just doesn't go out to things. Has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or has the 1, 2, 3 and the 4, 5, 6 of the ultra rare Darth Vader. Has the 1, 2, 3 and the 4, 5, 6, 7 of the ultra rare Darth Vader. The 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 5, 6, 7 of the ultra rare Darth Vader. And the 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 5, 6, 7, 8 of the ultra rare Darth Vader. Oh my God. Absolute mad lad. Jesus, man. So we have Lambo tomorrow. So Lambo, here's a couple of key mints, and then Noldor Live is going to be willing to pay super exclusive high premiums for these. So these are the most extreme performance version of the Murcielago. The LP670 for SV is going to come tomorrow. I'll go live for it. So some Veve Vantage mints to snipe and things to know about for this drop that you don't want to miss. 2009. This is going to be a good mint number. The Murcielago LP674 SV was introduced in 2009. The SV, its name, stands for Super Veloce, which translates to super fast in Italian. A 670 is another good one as well. It has a highly tuned V12 engine producing 670 horsepower, hence the 670 in the name, and the all-wheel drive system. Then you have 342, which is the top speed of 342 kilometers per hour or 212 miles per hour. So 212 and 342 is going to be some other numbers. 1963, obviously this year that marks the founding of Lamborghini as an automobile manufacturer, so that's going to be a good one to get. And then 2001 is Lamborghini Murcielago debut. So it was unveiled in 2001 as the successor to the Diablo, and Noldor Live said he's going to go and be like, hey, I'll also pay for the number 41. And what was the other one that he said? I have it here. And 199. I guess he wants the 199 for reasons. I don't know why. But that's for that. Blindfolded, Twix. Okay, so here's something that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to go to you guys saying. These games were released 4 years apart. So 4 years, I know doesn't sound like a very long time, but and these are the Final Fantasy games. Like, oh, okay, 4 years is clearly a long time. The graphics, the ways of the way that they do things. Veveverse apparently looks incredible. There's only so much better that these graphics can get. So I'm not going to say that the graphics are going to be like incredible. Like there's already, you can barely tell what's real and what isn't. But I think that some of the way that ChatGPT can help, and especially with Veveverse, and more on that in a minute, is basically going and saying, hey, have them go and make the conversation feel fluid. Make it, make the way that these people say it as a certain cadence. I don't care what accent you have. I don't care what where you are in the world. Humans in general have like this certain cadence in which they talk, and you could tell. And maybe it's easier for some people that are well traveled that just say, "Oh, hey, well, I've been to these places, so it makes so it makes sense." But I feel like in a lot of video games or in a lot of in a lot of alternate universe like video games, the way they have the characters speak is just in a different. It's just weird. It's just in a way where you can tell, okay, this isn't really human. This isn't really a thing. But I think ChatGPT can really help with that. And I think that'll have a lot of people going to the Veveverse. Aw, lady friend giving me the smiles. Meow, meow, meow. Dude, I had like the most autistic moment today. I'll make a TikTok about it. I was at work. I was coming out of the room to go upstairs to the bathroom. And like my back was like destroying me. I was sitting, I was like, oh, my body, meow. And like, so as soon as I leave my door, like that's what I hear. That's what you hear traveling down the hallway. And this woman is coming in the building, and she's like, and I'm like, ma'am, and then I just walk up the stairs. Anyway, I know that nobody needed to hear that, but I just wanted to say it, get it out, because I did. Okay, there's a guy named Pacey something. Let me find it. Let me find it for y'all. Pacey on the TikTok. I will find out. Pacey Morbo. Oh, I'm sorry, Pacey Morby. This is Pacey Morby's channel. Let me make that. And it's not like a paid advertisement or anything. So here's the Pacey Morby channel. And here is I can just show the screenshot now. Here is a raptor fossil. And this raptor fossil, right there, is real. He's got a guy that will tell him anytime that he's got a sauropod. He'll tell him anytime that he discovers something really cool before they take it to a museum, before they take it to auction, and they do a private deal. He paid $250,000 for this raptor fossil. It's like, wow, Chavez, that's a lot of money. Like, yeah. What does this have to do with Veve? People are clearly going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for maybe not necessarily one-of-a-kind items, although that each thing is still one-of-a-kind. Like, there are other raptor fossils that you can get, but there are people that are going to pay stupid amounts of money for things that are very scarce, that are very rare, that don't come around once in a while. I'm going to say the Aston Martin, the one of 7. I think the most recent payment was by Bezos Man, who had paid like $11,000 for that. Not a crazy amount. I mean, still a big amount. But here's like, okay, that now, a couple $1,000 more. He could have got a Miles Secret Rare. I'm pretty sure he already has a Miles Secret Rare, but having something one of 7, like the No Time to Die ticket, there's somebody that paid $64,000 for that. That's freaking nuts. A one of 7. Someone paid $64,000 for it. And this is all in a bear market. The amount of money that people are going to spend for something that's one of 7, especially like an Aston Martin. And like No Time to Die ticket, I get it. James Bond, understand that, but it's ticket, and it did have utility, but an Aston Martin is just one of the forever things. Hold on, who is this? Oh, clever jerk, I love you so much, man. I will be. All right, so I've been doing that for 2 weeks with my back. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so that's why I brought up the raptor fossil. Okay, only 19 minutes. Cool beans. Dragon Con. There's somebody on Reddit that calls themselves real Randy Chavez using my name. It's not real. Clearly it's not real. Clearly I don't love that. I just thought that was funny. Okay, so crypto in general, I know there's probably a decent amount of new people here. Crypto in general is like a pig on LSD. You never know which way it's going to run, especially OMI. So What I want to go is read something that I wrote in September of 2020. Actually, September 8th of 2020, exactly 3 years ago today. Saying, incoming Tesla status update. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. Most of you know that Tesla is one of my favorite companies on Earth. Why? Because their mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. That's it. Because they are helping to change the world for the better. They're doing what they set out to do, and they're disrupting multiple industries while doing so. Sounds like a familiar. Over the past week, the stock has taken a 3-hit combo. An announcement that they were going to dilute the shares to raise $5 billion, S&P 500 not including them into their group, and today when they announced that they already exercised their right to sell $5 billion worth of shares, and then after hours again when the S&P didn't include them once again. So many of you also know I put most of my available capital into this company, and today I lost $27,000. Again, September 8th of 2020, but I go on. I say, and guess what? I'm happy. I'm happy that I get to buy this fantastic company at such a discounted price, and my only regret is that I don't have more money so I could buy even more shares. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't know or care what the stock is going to do in the short term. I care about what the company does and where they will be in 2030. The future is like books. You can read it if you know how. The Tesla stock at that time had taken a 21% dip on the day. One day. And was actually down another almost 2% after hours. And it was fine. I was happy. Why? Because I've been through this before. So, guys, when I go and I tell you I'm fine. Now, obviously, losing $21,000 and losing the $1 million like I have this past year and a half, it is a bit different. It's a different feel, different level of that. But and again, not financial advice, but if Dasshi's being concerned, hey, Chavez, you've been talking about this mooning for a while. Dasschi, I'm not concerned. I'm not uncertain about where this company is going. I know what it's going to do. I know what the token's going to do. You even have some of the biggest bears saying I'll do a 50 to 75x from here, and here's not a bad time to do some accumulating. Which kind of brings me to one of my other points. You have people that are talking about, well, there's a couple of these things. I'll say it as in, okay, Veve's a private company. So we don't know what's on its balance sheet. I mean, I've asked David about this before, what other cryptos you have on this balance sheet. It's like, do you have Bitcoin? Do you have any stable coins? And outside of OMI, they actually have a little bit of GoChain, just so they can move, a bunch of their GoChain OMI. Anyway, a private company doesn't initially engage with everyone in the world. And this is talking about advertising. Why doesn't it engage with other people in the world? Well, they don't put on a website their quarterly report and say, okay, here's what our revenue was and here's what our costs were. So we can gauge what the revenue is just based on gem sales. Cool. The cost, we don't know how. I mean, we kind of figure on a guesstimate, very, very loose guesstimate, what they pay their employees. Guesstimate that they have maybe 60% margins. But we don't actually know their bottom line, but their earnings. Again, we could estimate that, hey, this company's giving $1 million away to the gem liquidity pool, lighting $5.5 billion OMI on fire from the business development fund. So they're not hurting. And again, I guarantee you they're going and investing in other stuff. But by and large, they're selective about what they want who they want to be on their cap table. So a public company doesn't care what's on its cap table. They don't care like Microsoft. They don't care who the average shareholder is. They might care who the bigger ones are. Like when they did that relationship with Anchor, they announced a few months ago. Oh, okay, we're going to care about this company because they're big. We're going to care about Blizzard because we're buying that. We're going to care about all of these things. But the average person, they don't really care about. But whereas a private company like Veve, they really do care on who's interested in them, who's investing in them, because a lot of these startups like Veve was these past couple of years, they're risky. Again, take example Recur. So Recur was a startup that had raised I think $50 million at a $330 million valuation, and they were always like, oh hey, we can go and just raise more money, but they they just didn't have a lot of product. They just didn't. They had some cool licenses, but they didn't have a lot of them ready, and they weren't even high-end 3D animated ones. They were just 2D stickers. But anyway, a lot of these private companies, they want investors who have a track record of behavior where they go and say, hey, we're not going to be sued if if our timelines aren't hit. We're not going to be sued if, hey, this is what we're selling them on, but suddenly we have to change it and go on the fly because of regulations, because of whatever, X, Y, and Z, things are happening with the space. And that's why I think Veve hasn't advertised, is because if they're advertising and they're saying, okay, we're going to do this for, raise a couple $1 million. When I say a couple million, I mean like $100 million, $150 million. They are likely going to do that not with smaller VCs. They're likely going to do that with a bigger company if they go and do it. So if they go and do that, I would say it would be an Apple. I would say it would be a Microsoft. I would say it would be a Disney, since we're already very closely working with them. I wouldn't even be surprised if this is how they go and they lock down Pokemon and Nintendo. Say, okay, normally, let's say Veve's worth $2 billion. And let's say they go to Nintendo, say, okay, well, 10% of the company would be $200 million. And we'll actually give you 10% of the company for $100 million if you go and give us exclusive rights. Like, that's something that I think I would. And say, well, Chavez, they're giving away $100 million. And again, this is just an example. They could do it with a much smaller thing. We'd be like, okay, we'll give you 5% of the company. Instead of spending $100 million, you pay $75 million. So yes, they do technically give away $25 million, but they do that for exclusive rights. I would be 100% okay if they did something like that, because obviously Nintendo and Pokemon, like they know what it's like going and starting up from a startup, like when they did with Game Freak, and Pokemon almost didn't get made, like multiple different times. So that's one of the reasons why I think we haven't advertised for a lot of people, because once you get that ball rolling for advertising, which I know we did get approved of for recently in the last couple months, and I haven't really started doing it yet. Once you get that ball rolling, I know I'm sure they've gotten offers from other companies already. I'm sure they've gotten offers from VCs. Although at that meeting I had last year, a lot of the VCs didn't really mention. They didn't. Almost nobody knew who Veve and OMI was, which was wild. But also, so that's why I don't think advertising has happened yet. Anyway, outside of that, I think there's one or two more things to go over. All right, so here's Kolja Emin over on the Facebook saying the newest one on Veve, getting the number 64. You can't see that number. Getting the number 64 C3PO. The floor on him is like $150. So I would say like $1,500 or $1,600. I would say would be a fair amount for a sub 100 of 3PO. And I would say if you have that, if you can get it for like $1,000, I don't know how much he paid. If you get it for like $1,000, that's probably okay. A bunch of the other collectibles that I see really, really popping off. I know First Appearance is great, and C3PO and R2D2 Golden Moments are fantastic, and they're beautiful, and apparently they look even better in the Veveverse, for whatever reason. But I don't know, like the scarcity on the newer C3PO and the newer R2D2 is really heckin' cool. And the fact that the X-Wing, you're going to be able to go and it should interact with R2. I don't know if it'll interact with Luke, but it should interact with R2. I'm really, really hoping that if anyone's ever seen Return of the Jedi, like that opening scene, R2 shoots Luke Skywalker's newly made lightsaber right out of his skull, and then he gets it. Like I was really hoping that if you could take the Skywalker lightsaber and put it into R2 somehow and have it shoot. I don't think that'll happen, but I think with the X-Wing and when R2 you'll be able to see something like that. So that's what I definitely see moving. I see the newer stuff moving, like Elsa. Golden Moments is great, and that'll always be valuable, and it'll probably not only retain its value but go up. But the newer one, it's scarcer. I don't know. I feel like that's what kids are gonna like. The kids are gonna like the newer stuff, the one that's colorful, the one that I know it's not animated. Olaf's animated, but I think the golden ones are more for like the investor. I think those are more for like the older people. Although I don't know, Frozen's been around for like 10 years now. So if you were 10 when when it came out, okay, well, now you're 20 and now you're an adult, and yeah. Anyway, I was already an adult when that came out. I was in the military. It was a good time. It was a good time. Payments, okay, we got that. Yes. Congratulations to this week's social sweepstakes winners on YouTube Shorts: Hal Garton, Boss 92160, and City Biggie. These are the week. Thank you to everyone who participated, and stay tuned for next week's sweepstakes. I don't know what they won. They probably won something cool. Shout out to them though. And I think that was it. I have to take. Yep. Okay. Oh, and then the collector spotlight. Collector spotlight this week is Master Collector. It's Chris Severs. Hold on, let me check. I think I'm derping the name here. Veve, Master Collector. Shout out to Market Smart. Market Smart Chris Severs. He is the most recent Veve spotlight collector, saying, just 13 muscles to smile versus 47 to frown, so focus where you spend your energy. Positivity has a way of spreading fast. His Veve birthday is 23 March 2021. Oh, wow, he was early. First collectible is James Bond No Time to Die posters, set 2. His most prized collectible is a 3-way tie between Fantastic Four #1, Marvel Comics #1, and Amazing Fantasy 15. Damn, dude's got the grails. His most sentimental collectible is the Darth Vader Ultra Rare, and it's a graduation gift for his son. His favorite movie is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Very nice. And his drop wish list is Wolverine versus Incredible Hulk #181. That's a really good one too. Sleeping Comics did a video the other day. Like, there's not a ton of grails left, and he's right. Yeah, what happens to the comics when after the grails are gone? I feel like this is the part of the reward. I've seen this comment. I forget by who, but I've seen this comment a couple of times by different people saying like, oh, I'll be excited when they start rewarding collectors. Like, my guy, you realize that most people are not here yet, right? And we're getting all the grails. Like, they're dropping the grails, so for the people here now are getting them at these stupid cheap prices. Whereas in the next couple of years, when we have 1 million users or several 100,000 users, that's how they're rewarding collectors. Like, I feel like a lot of people just kind of want something for nothing. And it's like, oh, I should get something because I bought it. Like, there's no other place in the world where you get that. Like, oh, Kmart, I bought this hose from you. Where's my nozzle airdrop? Where's my, give me the free water to do with this? Like, it's so stupid. This is the reward. It's being early. And I know most people don't see it yet because a lot of people don't have that delayed gratification. But you could either choose to be upset about it, or you could choose to be happy seeing the forest, through the trees, and you'd be like, I choose to be happy that I'm here early. Fight me. Anyway, that was Collector Spotlight, and that is it. Okay, so I will go over some questions right now. Go on and ask me anything. No, where was I? Okay. We've got Wes says, will OMI Moon when they initiate burns from circulating supply? It'll definitely help. And that happens with the bronze tickets. So with that happening with the bronze tickets, I would say give it like 4 months. It'll be October, November, December. Maybe 3 months. I don't know when it happens, but that will definitely help, because that's not constant burn. That's a burn. You'll have spikes of burning a couple times a week, or even just a couple times a month, because it'll happen when there's really cool collectibles. So either what they're going to do is they're either going to really need to ramp up advertising and keep the mint sizes the same. So this way, when a lot of people get in and the mint sizes stay the same, there's like, oh, okay, that gives people a big reason to go and burn their OMI for the bronze tickets. Or, maybe they don't kick off advertising right away, and they go and say, hey, we'll just lower the mint sizes and give people this chance. I mean, people will go, and for something like Lamborghini and Pink Panther, yeah, they'll probably go, and you'll have some people testing it out to get the mechanics of it. I'm sure me and Foster will do it. We'll do like a video on it, like, hey, here's how you go and do it. Obviously not for this weekend because we don't have it yet, but in the future they might do something like that. But I think to really go and really incentivize, and you want to see those really big spikes of OMI burns, that's what you're probably going to have to do. And when we see that, again, a couple times a month, let's say once a week, Obviously, there's a lot of the drops are a lot more frequent than that, but the drops are a lot more frequent than that, but it's not constant burns. And not every drop is a huge winner either. That's going to make people do that. But whereas we have the OMI to accessory, they come out with the things that you can get for all your collectibles that is constant OMI burning. So I really think the big pump is going to be in Q1. But once they roll out the bronze tickets, which again, I'm hoping Q4, it could very well be in Q1. I don't think it'll be that long, but who knows? That you'll see a pump. When that happens, unless we have like a Black Swan event or unless we have some craziness going on, I think that really pumps us to well above 001, and I think that might be the last time. That might be like this might be the last time in the next couple months that we're able to get it in the 000s. Anyway, Bill Gar says first like. Says agreed. Wes, we needed burn. Big first like. So that's one of the other things I kind of wanted to go over on when we're talking about spikes in revenue and spikes in burning and spikes in when Veve has all of these different drops every week. I don't think there's any other company that has multiple drops per week. You have some that have quarterly. I think McFarlane has a drop every week, not multiple per week. When going, and I was telling this a bit to my new whale today as well. He had asked about other companies, like why Veve? Like you can't tell me there's not no other companies that are doing this. And I was like, okay, well, there are that I just haven't even brought up to him. I haven't mentioned it to him because I don't think there's a reason to. He's just for the ROI. He buys the collectibles. Some of them are cute, they're cool, but he's more about the ROI. So I go to him. I was like, hey, listen, you're old enough to remember, like the .com bubble in like 99, 2000 or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I remember it. I was like, okay, well, conventional wisdom at that time was that the company you wanted to be in after things had kind of crashed was like Yahoo, because Yahoo was profitable. I don't know if Google was profitable yet. I don't know if I don't think Ask Jeeves was profitable at all. But and that I think one of the first things that crashed. It was like, well, when all these startups that went out of business, you could say that, okay, well, Yahoo could be the way that you go and you get a piece of the internet for forever because Yahoo's not going away. And you wouldn't have to take a big risk on any of these startups that are happening. Like you had FriendTrain, you had a bunch of these other websites that maybe showed promise, had a little bit of a community, but it was just a big risk. And then it turned out that all of Yahoo's revenues went away because all of their revenues were coming from like their banner ads. Those were the advertisements that were paid for by startups. So I was like, listen, very similarly from that, you have these people, like I mentioned before, Recur, that, yeah, they raised $50 million at a $350 million valuation. Veve never did that. He's like, okay, well, why not? Well, Veve didn't need to. They're making a bunch of revenue. Like when all your revenue just comes from seed round funding, when all your revenue just comes from that. Or if it's, let's say there was a Dashi app where you could buy all things Dashi that came well before Veve. And then it's like, okay, and Dashi app has hundreds of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of users. And we go and we have a couple thousand users, on the Veve app. It's like, okay, well, if all of our users are actually Dashi users that are just coming over here for the time just because Dashi has, they're going very slow with their tech, they're going, whatever. Those aren't really our users. Those aren't real users. So I try to explain to him, like, there are other companies out there. There are other companies doing some other drops, and some of them are making revenue. But the revenue is kind of like they're like the Yahoo of these particular of this era, because the revenue, I don't want to say it's not real. Money is money, and you get it. Okay, you can't tell me it's not real. But it's coming from people that are only there because of Veve. And, once Veve really starts kicking in, everyone's going to say, okay, well, you know what? Each piece of money I spend that's not on Veve is money that I could have spent on Veve. It would have got me more MCP points. I could have got more OMI. I could have got more this. So you have the gamification, you have the, and then you have that like that Instagram paradox. You have that Instagram thing where people just they go and they buy things and they go and they sell things just for the clout, just for the post, just for likes. And I don't understand it. Why I really love Middle America, why I really love Ohio, why I really love even the satellite coast like Louisiana, places where the tech isn't great, where they're a good 10 years behind us on the coast, is that their lives don't really revolve around social media. They don't revolve around posting things and getting that clout, and they're happier. So but again, people are going to do what they're going to do. So to keep up with the Joneses, that's what they're going to do. Love it or hate it or indifferent to it, people are going to go and be on Veve because it might be cool to get, and I'll make up a name. It might be cool to go on the Taco Bell app and get a one of 50 Taco Bell Grande or one of 50 cheesy gordita crunches. But if there's like 1,000 people on that, nobody's really going to care. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you have this one of 50, which is really cool, but it's not like a super awesome Veve thing, which is going to be the hot, sexy thing for, the rest of the decade. I didn't use that example when talking, with my whale about this, but I just letting y'all know what I've been saying. Also, before I move on, I'm going to go and ask everyone a flavor, because I've been here putting out content for the last 40 minutes for y'all. If y'all can go smash that like button right there, that'd be a free way to help support the channel. That'd be super great. I would love y'all for that. Okay. Moving on. VD Wheel says, let's go. Oh my God, Satoshi says, at West, you realize there are billions and billions and billions of OMI, and it needs an inferno to moon, not minuscule burns, just a thought. Well, as soon as it happens, as soon as, I think West is right, that as soon as you have a little bit of burns happening, you're going to get that Ron Paul meme smashed everywhere. It's happening, or like the Michael Scott, like, oh my God, it's happening. When Pam goes into labor. So I do think a little bit, like we're sitting on a powder keg, and we had a little bit of a spark, but it didn't catch. When this powder keg lights off, again, goes up like Vesuvius, this is going to be amazing. Omar Kasadi says, let's go. Well, says, Bill, yes, we need a lot of burn if we want OMI to be worth anything. I mean, it's going to be worth a lot. But burn is definitely a big thing that we're gonna need for it to hit the massive levels. But again, even without burns, you'll still make there'll still be several cents without burns. Obviously with burns, that's obviously going to help solidify that and give a better chance for other stuff, depending on how much we burn. SoCal Omi Homie says, top 10. Happy Friday. Like, share, and support the community. Shout out. SoCal Omi Homie. Yeah. Connor. Hey, Connor. Dino Dragon says, how do you think us being in a recession will affect this halving? I mean, we've been... hold on, I'm just going to stretch here real quick. Things have been rough for a year and a half. Inflation, ever since we went and or Russia went and invaded Ukraine. As long as nothing super crazy, super black swan event happens, I think it'll be fine. Markets will do what they do. These Bitcoin ETFs will get approved. I don't know when, but they will get approved. And you're not going to... I mean, again, we were hit with the threat of World War III last year. We were hit with the collapse of Terra Luna. We were hit with the collapse of FTX. Banks going down, stable coins in jeopardy. And, Bitcoin went down to like 16,000, 15,000. If all of that didn't, break us and that's the lowest as we went, I think that you have I don't think that this big recession is really going to do a lot. I mean, you're going to have, at some point, you're going to have to do quantitative easing. You're going to have to raise rate. You're going to have to slow down the rate hike. And then you're going to have to go and start printing money again. And again, when that happens, you're going to see, I don't know when that happens. Could this continue on for another year? I guess, but we are currently in the longest bear market that we've ever had. So I don't, Could it go on for another year? Sure. Could we have 1,000 days in this bear market till late 2024? Sure. It's just, and if we do, cool. I'll get up to like 200 million OMI. It's just, again, we're still in this bear market when we had that 50% run up over the last, over the last month. For that 2 weeks, we had like an 80% run up in 2 weeks. And that's just with something that really, it's not real utility yet. It's just like a bonus for us holding OMI. And then, yeah, so I don't think I'm not going to say that it won't matter. The effect it'll have, I think, will be fairly minimum to us. Super chat coming in from Stan saying, does Veve have plans in being platform agnostic? Well, Cavernous does. And the Cavernous, the Veveverse, which is built by Cavernous, is engine agnostic. So it is both in, not utility, it is both in the, oh god, what's the name of that engine? The one that Polytopia is on, Unity. So it is on Unity, and then you do have it in Unreal Engine 5 as well. So depending on where you have it on, computer, tablet, phone, headset, that's depending what it's going to be on, how it's going to run. So I don't know if that was a main selling point for Veve, or I don't know if that was Veve's demand, be like, hey, if you're going to do this, you're going to make it engine agnostic. But yes, the Veveverse is engine agnostic. So Senses, it would be a hoot if they built on Cardano, Solana, Bitcoin, or even Cat also. Thanks. Okay, all right. So you mean you don't mean the Veveverse. You mean like the collectibles? I mean, they're on Immutable X. I guess they could do something in the future where they could go to another chain. I don't see any reason to be honest, especially with the kind of like gardened off, closed off system that we have. I don't really see any reason to. They could if they want. They're not going to do it all of those things. They might do it on one thing. They're not. I don't think they do it on all of those things though. Anyhow, moving on. Jordan Reese says, Randy, what's up, Jordan? How's it going, fam? Soka Omi Homie says, 39 watchers at the start. Nice. Need more likes, fam. Oh, 76 now. Yeah, need more likes. Jordan Reese says, tell the peeps we both dumped all our OMI for bump. No, I've never sold an OMI. I'll not sell any OMI. I'll sell OMI eventually, some. But yeah, bump is very, very interesting. That could really take off at some point. Jordan Reese says, bronze tickets will pump us over 002, I think. Don't know when. Yeah, I'd say I would as well. I just don't know when we get it. Jordan, I think your prediction was like 005 by the end of the year. It's like, Jordan, it's so much. Again, we don't know when we're going to get that. We could get it. We could get that, in Q4, and it could do crazy things for us. I don't know. Dino Dragon says, we don't get major exchanges by the next bull run. Would this be a failure by the team, in your opinion? No. It would, not the goal. So you have the main goals of just having the tech continue. The main goal is just going in and testing for a week, or writing code for a week, testing for a week, and then launching. So we get updates on the app like once or twice a month, which is great. And that's one of the main goals, to keep the tech, obviously going in, and you had a lot of spaghetti code in the beginning. So you go in and say, okay, can we do the same functions with less lines of code? Or could we roll out more functions and keep the amount of coding lines the same? That's why being super efficient. So the goals right now is the tech, is to onboard users, is to, the licenses are just super, super insane. It's like every other company can Fusion Ha and take a bunch of steroids, and they wouldn't come close to Veve. So it's just to continue doing what they're doing. Their goal isn't to like, oh, we need to hit it by this timeline for these exchanges for this bull run. That's not their goal. Their goal is to do things right. However long that takes is how long it takes. And I think that's the right way to do it. You don't want to have shoddy workmanship just to hit like on an exchange, just to kind of time it. Like you don't want to do that. Now, obviously, you do want to have a strategy on how you roll it out. You don't want to really just start with Coinbase and Binance. You just want to go and do little things at a time. Um, but I wouldn't consider that a failure at all. It would be a failure if I would consider it a failure if there was no if the tech failed. If there was, I had said in an earlier video like 2 months ago, like if they don't have any tech done, like okay, we hear that Mitch and Nestor are great and they seem to be doing a great job. The tech seems to be going great, but if they don't have any OMI utility by Q1 of next year or the end of Q1 of next year, is like, yeah, I'm done. But clearly they rolled it out like last month, and they'll continue rolling it out. So I would say if the tech failed, if they went and not that they need to tell us anything, they don't technically owe us anything, but if they were to go and say, hey, we have to shut down the app for like 2 months because we have to rework everything, okay, that's a failure. Like, and that could be like an app killer. So I would say if any failures would be something like that. Like the show must go on, like time stops for nobody. If they go and they have, like, it gets really weird when they don't have a drop for like 3 or 4 days, and it's like, oh, why? Because clearly they have content planned out for like the next 5 years, which is nuts. Um, so you say, I personally think if we don't get at least 2 to 3, the team has failed us. No, I mean, again, that's if that's your threshold for failing, you clearly don't think highly of this company. Because I mean, if you have, and when you say us, I imagine you mean OMI holders, not like the Veve app in general is super fantastic. The collectibles are great, like that. I don't think you mean the app. I think you mean like the OMI holders, which the next bull run, it's possible we get like 1 exchange, 2 exchanges. I mean, if you're gonna have OMI being bought on the web app, I'm not saying you don't need exchanges. You definitely still want that. You want liquidity for the token, but I mean, I'd kind of rather us do some burns while we're down here at triple zeros, as opposed to us running. I mean, you could have exchange. If Veve wanted, they could have exchanges tomorrow. They could have every single exchange on the face of the earth tomorrow. But what does that do? That's just a pump and dump. Like, it goes crazy high for a couple weeks. People FOMO in. I would sell like 50% of my bag because we get up to like 3 cents in like a week, and then I wait for it to come back down, and I do that. So I mean, again, they could have any exchange they want to tomorrow, but you want to do the smaller exchanges first, and you want to have more utility first. You want to get, when you get listed, like, you don't want to be listed as like a meme coin. You want to be listed as a utility token. You want to be listed as a metaverse token, which they will. So I would say if by Q2 of next year, if they don't have bronze tickets, I would consider that a failure. Or a failure, not like the failure, like, oh, the app has failed, the team has failed. No, that's just a failure if they don't have bronze tickets by Q2. But again, that's 1 out of 80 things that they're doing, like 80 important things that are being worked on. So I would say go and determine what you think is a failure and play out those dominoes on what happens if we get exchanges, big exchanges, before we have any real utility. So what people, you had all these other companies that were spending massive amounts of money on employees, and then they weren't making revenue. Like, if Veve were to listen to the crowd, Veve would be bankrupt. Like, there's multiple reasons for the things that they do, why they do. Pasternak88 says, typically, how long do beta testers work on a project before it's released? I mean, it could be years. I mean, it depends on the game. It depends on the, you have the alpha, you have the beta, you have bugs, like, and some of that happens. Sometimes games never get released. It could be years. But again, this is why they're rolling it out in stages. If they were to say, like, hey, we're going to have testers for this, for the next 2 years, and when we eventually do roll out Veveverse, it'll be amazing, and it'll be the whole game. It'll be everything fleshed out. It's just you have to wait like 2 years for that. But this way, okay, a little bit, and this is what's perfect, I think, for the token as well. Put out a trailer for the Veveverse, get a little hype, get the home space. Everyone gets hyped for this, and then slowly but surely you roll out everything. You roll out the OMI accessory, more hype for token, more hype for this. Maybe they don't roll out the game, but some of these things you're gonna have games in here. But let's say they don't do the characters. Let's say it's a racing game. It's like, okay, certain cars will be made to race, but you don't know which cars. Oh, which cars are they? Are the Aston Martin's going to be better? Are the Ecto 1's going to be better? The DeLorean's going to be better? Like you don't know which licenses has agreed to that. You don't know which cars are going to be great. So have it like a game. Have these announcements, and then slowly, the first car we're announcing in this Veve racing game is the Ecto 1. And then suddenly it's the Triumph motorcycle from MGM, from James Bond. That I think would be that I think is what they're going to do. I'm not saying that we're going to have a racing game, although I think we should. And you do that with any of the licenses. Say like, hey, in this world, we're going to have these cute little things. Okay, what are these cute little things? Are they the Peely Fantasy? Are they the Chaos? Are they the Cryptkins? Are they the Unicornos and Mermacornos? Where they say, oh, these cute little things you'll love to have. Give us something to chew on. Give us some speculation. And give us something to go and gamble on. Like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm loading up on Cryptkins. Damn, it wasn't the Cryptkins. It was the Marvel Mighties or something like that is being gamified. Like, I don't know. But I think that would be really fun. SoCal says 6 months to halving plus 18 for alt peak is basically 2 years to next peak based on historical, as discussed on Doctor Stuff yesterday. Still early stack, not financial advice. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my knees. Oh, that didn't feel so good. Okay. Yeah. And that's 6 months to have. Well, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah. March, April next year. I think that's when we get it. The halving. But again, like we pumped like 80% in those 2 weeks where we just had the announcement for the utility and it wasn't really utility. When we have actual real utility, it's gonna go insane. Stan says, does Veve have a mascot? If not, what would you recommend? I've talked to them about this before, about having like the Veve letters, like have them be characters, have the blue V and the blue E be like the ones that are like badass, super like Rambo. They have like like Veve things taped around their head, like headbands, like they're the ones. Like here's what my plan was. Like you have the white V and the white E going, and they're just camping by a fire, they're roasting marshmallows, and they're chilling with all the rest of their homies, Marvel Mighties and whatever. And then you have the rest of the characters. You have FUD, you have F, U, and D coming in with their like trying to shoot down everyone's happiness. And then you have the blue V and the blue E come in, and then they go and they they fight, and they're at a stalemate, whatever, and then they say like, oh, okay, we need to, morph into like the full Veve logo, and then, I don't know, I just think that would be super fun, just to have them at letters as characters. Like nobody owns letters. I guess like the alphabet lore, but again, they don't own it. They own those specific characters that are based on those letters. But I feel like that would be great. I think that would be fun. Have these little characters be part of the squad, and because that's their only IP. If Veve were to have some actual IP outside of that's how you go and you do it. That's how you go and you get a lot more content made of you. That's how you get a lot of games. That's how you get a lot of traction. So if you go and you take, I don't know who their mascot would be, because they don't have any characters. They don't have any exclusive characters. If they did have one, let's say like David, like have David come out as a character. I mean, you can technically already get him from Epico Regal. I think he's worth like $15. They made so many of him. It's, Feesh are cool. I would say Feesh would be a nice little side character that you could have in the Veveverse. We already saw them in the Veveverse last year. But I would think, have them make their own IP. Have them make their own character. I'll volunteer for that. Like, I have so many characters that I could give them. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Delco Dude says, hey everyone. What up, Delco Dude? John Adams says, didn't Dan and David say they had extra logos? Yes, I don't know how many. But those extra logos are going to be when they go to Singapore, when they go to Europe, or not Europe. This would be Singapore, Australia, South America, maybe. Because right now all of the logos have really been given out to or most of them have been given out to U.S. and European peeps. They want to have it like a world thing. Like they don't want it just the U.S. and European. Like there's enough U.S. and European peeps in there. Jordan Reed says that was wild. Crazy to lose a marriage because of new business. I mean, in America, it's not. In America, that happens all the time. I lost my last relationship because of y'all. Chago Solo says, "Happy Friday, everyone." Meow, meow. Happy Friday. Sam says, "Is Veve interested in the possible technological value of NFTs?" I don't understand the question. For example, nesting data, trade storing NFTs and NFTs. I don't think so. I think that's where, and this is where you have it gets very meta when you have the Bitcoin ordinals. I never invested in those. I don't think I'll ever invest in those. It's just, okay, you could do it, and it has a community, it has people that are really passionate about it. I feel like most people won't care. And I could be wrong. That could be the next big thing. Oh, ordinals, doing things on the Bitcoin blockchain, having NFT. You can. I just think that's too complicated for everyone. I think it's too meta for everyone. I just don't think it's going to catch on. So to have and again, in general, people don't understand blockchain or NFTs. So to have them go like a step further, it just won't get mass adopted. Or even decentralized identification of a person with all personal info, MVA, IRS, payments, Social Security, deeds, etc. Well, that'll happen just in the world. Veve, I don't think is real. I mean, I guess they could be like saying, okay, here's your. If you let's say you fill out an info card about you. I think this would actually be really cool. Okay, all right, hold on. I gotta message this to someone. Okay, another info card. Okay, where is it? Okay, idea. Have everyone fill out a big questionnaire. Optional. Okay. Optional, but make it so that the questionnaire has monetizable data, likes, dislikes, etc. Then, when they complete the questionnaire, give them an exclusive collectible for the Veveverse. A plaque that says Veve loves me or something. I don't know. Or something. So that I think would be really cool, because if you go and you have I mean, in general, the IRS will go and you're going to have that for the deed of the house, the title of a car. Everything will be NFTs at some point because blockchain technology is superior. But I don't think Veve's necessarily interested in that, but I think that would be a really cool way for Veve to make a lot more revenue. Is like they go in and say, okay, hey, give us your cookies, give us all this, give Veve access to everything in this. If you go and you give Veve access to like everything in your phone, or give Veve access to all this data, fill out a questionnaire like, hey, here's my likes, here's my dislikes, here's why I'm passionate about collecting, and then they go and they use that data, and then they say, okay, well, here's what people thoroughly enjoy, here's what they don't, and let's use this to make our drops better. Let's use this to make the Veveverse better. And then when getting that valuable data, go in and say, okay, you completed this questionnaire, you get a plaque that says Veve loves you, and you can only get it if you complete this questionnaire. Put it up in your showroom, put it up in the Veveverse, put it up wherever. I think that'd be really, really cool. Great heckin' idea. So Homie says, currently there are 23,033 wallets holding OMI. What idiots are going to sell OMI when it moves to get more wallets? Are going to sell OMI when it moves to get more wallets. Oh, I don't know who's going to sell. Moons, not moves. Damn. Okay, all right. What idiots are going to sell OMI when it moons to get more wallets? I know what you meant. I don't know. I mean, wild. Veve Wheels is currently we kick ass. Yeah. The Inner Dragon says my friend has been in crypto for a long time. Continually gives me crap for buying so much OMI. Can't wait for the day to make him eat his words. I mean, just because you're in something a long time doesn't mean you're good at it. Like I knew this one guy, Alex, who was I've been boxing for years. He sucked. Like he sucked. And it's like, dude, like a freaking rookie novice can beat you. So like just because you're in crypto for so long doesn't mean you're a good investor. Doesn't mean you understand it. Props to him if he buys and holds, but if he doesn't understand why OMI is a good investment, potentially, not financial advice, then his opinion on it, especially if he doesn't know anything about, like if it's one thing where he has looked at, it's one thing if he goes and says like, hey, if he's never heard of OMI, never heard of Veve, he's like, oh no, Bitcoin's the best, man. Yeah, Bitcoin's the safest. OMI's gonna outperform clearly, but it'd be one thing if he just kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna choose to willfully ignore anything Veve and OMI related. Sure, that's one thing. But if he goes and he actually looks at the project, if he looks at, I don't want to say project, if he looks at the company, if he like actually does his homework and does his research, and he still says, nah, I don't, I get it. People process data differently. He's just wrong. Put it there. Turtle says, absolutely love your content, buddy. Great marathon. Great marathon, long run training companion. Yeah. How much progress have you made in the healing? I made it to page 8. It was just, I will get more this weekend, but last weekend was Labor Day, and then, I went back to work, so yeah. But I will be reading a lot this weekend because there is no holiday, there is no Labor Day. I thought it was really interesting that the book about back pain, like 40% of it, I skimmed through it, has really not a lot to do with your back, and it has a lot to do with other stuff. It's like, okay, I guess, we're all kind of one. It all kind of goes into the other. So yeah, that makes sense. So Homie says, when does the next season start? And has the interval changed? Should be every 6 months. I don't know when the next season starts, to be completely honest. Oh God. Okay. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there. Okay, moving on. Pasternak 88 says, crazy. No one wants my 57 first appearance Wonder Woman for $5.99. Most popular female superhero. Oh, all right, let's take a look at the Wonder Woman. Oh my God, my back. We're gonna take a look at Wonder Woman as I stretch. Okay, we're gonna go to the Veve app, right here, and we're gonna go to Wonder Woman, the first appearance. So it's a number 41. Or I'm sorry, the floor is 41. It's a common, so I would say 410 for a sub 100. Oh wow. So I would say about $410 for the sub 100. There's only 2 sub 100, and yours are your 99 Gretzky 99. So I think that's why. Because at $5.99, it is the lowest out there. There is no cheaper option. So if somebody super wants a sub 100 Wonder Woman, they have to pay that. But I think that the more proper price is around $410. So I would say yes. If there was somebody that super coveted loves Wonder Woman, and again, Wonder Woman probably has a bunch of her sub 100s held by bots. So there's probably less out there than the normal 59 sub 100s. But right now, I mean, again, $600 is a lot. You can get a lot with $600, and I get it. Trinity, Wonder Woman, first appearance. It's just a lot. And whenever you hear blue chip, whenever you hear Grails, you don't necessarily think of Wonder Woman. If it was the super awesome, like jacked Wonder Woman, but she's not a first appearance, so I don't even know what. Oh my God, there's $9. $9 for her. How many of her are there out of 10,000? Jesus, what are the sub 100s of her? Get a sub 100 to her for 143. Ow. But yeah, like Wonder Woman's almost never really mentioned, which I think is unfortunate. Because she's part of the Trinity: Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. Major like there are very, very few people that are stronger than Wonder Woman that could beat her in a fight. In the DC universe. And yeah, I think eventually sub 100s will be well over $1,000. But just right now, gems are hard to come by, and 600 is just a lot. For right now, again, someone will take that off your hands at some point in the future. Stan says people are gushing over the quality of the McFarlane Superman. In your circles, have you heard of a quality bump in the Veve-verse? Yes, yes, the quality looks. All right, so I don't want to go and be like, yo, it's like 10 times better. Like it's better. But I will say that the quality I think is already fairly good in general. For just the world and collectibles at large, there's not so much better that you like. If say like to get 10 times better quality, I just don't think you can do. But to have it go be like, oh, this is like 100% better quality. Okay, yeah, it's a 2x. Sure, that's fine. But yes, I have heard the Veve-verse does give quite a big bump to the quality. If so, any word of how it compares to competition? No, not really. No word on that yet. BJ78 says, I'm a big Veve fan, but McFarlane stuff is crazy detailed. Enjoy them both. It looks fantastic. A lot of the McFarlane stuff looks really good. So yeah, definitely enjoy both. So OMI says, anyone in the chat tried the Cavernous free trial? Is it comparable to Veve-verse beta based on what we know? Fudger. I'm not sure. I haven't tried the free trial, so I wouldn't know. BJ78 says, was disappointed Veve not involved with other NFT companies with Batman Day coordination? Was looking forward to another Veve Batman drop. Yeah, I was. Everyone else was involved with that. Veve wasn't. Interesting. I don't know why. So OMI Homie says, it's crazy to me that 23,000 wallets hold all OMI. More people than that go to a baseball stadium. It's at VeveCon 2026 in Anaheim Stadium at the same time as DCon as convention center. I don't want to step on DCon's toes. It's 2026, a long time. It's a couple years away. Who knows? We shall see. Prince Toby says, here's a really bad NFT joke. If we get Oppenheimer NFTs, it would be the bomb. It was a really bad joke, but it made me lol. SoCal All My Homie says, gold logo holders get box seats. Good, like the way you think. Veve Wheels, fire, preach, fire, straight fire. SoCal All My Homie says, boo, Prince, sorry, your majesty. Don't boo him. Sleeping Comics is Randy. Sleeping, I love you, man. Thanks so much for always being a supporter and just dropping in and saying hi. I know you're super busy. Thank you. SoCal Omi Homie says, basement hat guy. Bill Gardner says, what up? Yo, what up, Bill Gardner? Sleeping says, hey, Omi Homie. SoCal Omi Homie says, at Bill Gardner, number 42. Bill Gardner says, number 42 in the house. That's his thing. Rita Kruger says, do you think Omi can hit 10 cents before 2025? No. That's 10 cents, right? Yeah, no. I mean, is it possible? Sure. There are. I have $15,000 in bets going on that people say that Omi can't hit 1 penny before the end of 2024. So obviously, I'll be $15,000 richer next year. But 10. Obviously, I know it's going there. It might go to a couple cents, but 10 cents is a lot. I don't think it does that before 2025. Bill Garner says, if I picked up the number 42 Veve logo, it will be official. Dude, I don't think you can. The number 42 Veve logo is very locked up. And also for the Veve logo, at some point it won't really matter. I don't even know if it's even listed. I don't see it. 420 is listed. Oh, Esquivel has the 420. That's amazing. Number 43 is listed. Oh yeah, no, Beerman. I mean, if you gave him like $10,000, I don't even think he'd take it for 10. But you have the number. Oh, it's 443, 4,400. Okay, gotcha. I mean, so even if you were to tell me, Bill Gardner, if you were to say, Chavez, Randy Chavez, I could just pay another $2,400 and get the number 89. And I'd be like, listen, Bill Gardner, you could. Or you could go and say, like, hey, you spend $6,800 on the number 89. Or you could go and spend another $2,600 and get the bottom two and just get the number 443 and the 355 and sweep the floor. You could do that, but I think one is enough. And I think, short term, could these prices go lower? Sure, but it's clear you'll understand once you get in. There's not going to be a ton of people that are going and going to sell that. Like, I won't give the details of how big the Telegram group is right now. Most people in there are not going to sell. There are other people that could sell, sure. But yeah, most people ain't going to sell. Bill Gardner, if you can pick up that the one on the floor for like 4,300, 4,400, and then if you do that, you'll be happy. But I will say, like, if you say, Randy, I have like $5,000, should I just get OMI? And I don't know how much OMI you have. I know you have a bunch, but if you had like no OMI, I was like, all right, dude, just get the OMI. But if you already have a good amount of OMI, I would say, okay, get the logo if you're happy with that. But if you're just like, well, listen, I want more, I would lean towards OMI, but it'd be hard. There's definitely a lot that you can do with that logo. SoCal OMI Homie says, I think later 2025, but personally, yes, not financial advice. I think you're talking about the OMI hitting 10 cents. Yeah. And one says, didn't Akomi make money off OMI token gen event? Nah. Bill Garner says, one, agree, 10 cents for sure, minus financial advice. VV Wheels saying, preach. Stan says, thank you for the super chat. Saying, does VV have plans in being platform agnostic? It would be a hoot if they built on Cardano, Solana, Bitcoin, or even Grumpy Cat also. Cavernous does have the VV-verse being agnostic, but engine agnostic, but they're not doing that for these guys. SoCal Omi Home says, already on Immutable X. We in Immutable X. Been here since May. Now we in September. The Mexican Taco saying, I literally have thousands of dollars in VV and a few hundred in McFarlane, but McFarlane rewards both digital and physical collectors. Does. McFarlane goes and if you have a bat cowl or if you have a certain amount of XP on McFarlane, you get access to the drops before anyone. And sometimes you even get a discount. So they definitely do. There's definitely rewards for having McFarlane. So let me tell you this though. The Mexican Taco. Let's say if Dashi had these super rewards. It's like, okay, if you were one of the first to buy a Dashi token or a Dashi NFT, if you have, there was only 100 of them. If you were the first to have that, you were the first to get access to these first 1,000. These next 1,000 that I get. So you get first access to that, then everyone else gets it. And then you say, okay, for my third drop, if you have the first one, you're gonna, the third drop's gonna be 10,000, a 10,000 PFP product, 10,000, collectible of Dashi, whatever, or me, whatever it is. You say, okay, well the first 100 people, not only are you guaranteed to get one if you want to buy one, if you want, but you also get a 10% discount. That's great. And it says, well, the next 1,000 people that got these, you don't get any discount, but you are guaranteed one if you want. Cool, that's great. And then the other 9,000 people go and get it. It's like, okay. And let's say Dashi does this, and the super rewards are you get, every time you purchase, you get a little bit of Dashi token, you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's just, where is Dashi token going to be in the future? Where are these Dashi collectibles going to be in the future? You just kind of have the same couple hundred people going in and buying. And again, the people on the Dashi platform, let's say, aren't from, they're not native to Dashi. They didn't get into Dashi because they discovered Dashi on their own. No, they were in Veve before they got into Dashi. And Dashie's just kind of siphoning off the Veve collectors from Veve, bringing it to Dashie. And, Dashie stuff is cool, it looks great, and it looks fantastic and phenomenal. But it's just, and the people that are representing Dashie, let's say Dashie has, some really not good people representing Dashie. And it's like Dashie's a good product, a good thing, and everyone loves Dashie, but the people that Dashie chose to represent Dashie products are just not good people. And playing out those dominoes, like how good, how valued are those collectibles? Compared to Veve. So that I would say that it doesn't have to be Dashie. It could be, Steve Cannons are great, but it could be a Steve Cannon. It could be anything that I put out in the future, etc., etc. And one saying, Friday, September 8th, 2025, I won't be home doing nothing. Grant Cardone investing lifestyle sucks. I understand. Omar Kasada says, looks like I'm going to dollar cost average more to OMI. Busy month in New York City. Get that bread, Omar. I hope you're doing well. Keep on keeping on, brother. Proud of you. SoCal OMI Homie says, do you think games in Veveverse will be on chain or commerce related in some other way? I'm sure. Commerce related. I don't think they'd necessarily be on chain. I mean, I guess the NFTs that we use, the collectibles that we use that are on chain, like using your collectibles in that, yeah, that's fine. But like, is the land going to be on chain? Is that going to be on Immutable X? Maybe the land could be built on that. I mean, Immutable X is doing everything, every partnership with everything. So I would say that the land could be on there, unless they wanted to go and have another switch beforehand, which I don't really want to go through. But yeah, there'll be commerce, like buying and selling of land, buying and selling of the of certain. Let's say out of the accessories, let's say there's a high mint accessory thing for, I don't know, a hat, like a Veve hat that you can go and put on your collectibles. Let's say there's 100,000 of those mints, but out of those 100,000, only 1,000 of those will be a super cool gold logo or a red variant or a purple variant hat. And it's random. I think that is really cool. I think that's actually something else I gotta. Okay. Hold on. Another idea. Let's say for OMI 2 accessory, you have a Veve hat you can put on collectibles. Super high mint, 100,000, but 1,000 of them are the special purple hat variants. I think that would be really cool. That would be fun. Anywho, moving on. Candace Bevan, hi Candace, how are you? SoCal Omi Homie says, RPMK is managing release of a new Rolling Stones album. They're well connected. Nice, interesting. And one says, why doesn't the Fed just burn money? Lol, what a Ponzi. I wish that worked. Fiat burn. Yeah, Fiat just makes, the Fed just makes more money. It's dumb. Bill Gardner says, yeah, gotta get more OMI. Got it. Randy Chavez fan group. If there is an IP that became a Veve NFT that could somehow alone pull the market out of a bear market, what IP would that be? First off, I gotta take a picture of the Randy Chavez fan group. No heckin' way. First off, that's amazing. Let me draw little arrows to this. Send to my story. That's a pretty fun thing. And also, I'm just gonna random picture of that in general. Okay, that's sent. All right, moving on. That became a Veve NFT that could somehow alone pull the market out of a bear market. The entire NFT market at large, or Veve? Oh shoot. Okay, there we go. Because there's two different things there. if they announce Pokemon, you're going to see so much blood in the streets. You're going to see so many people selling, selling, selling. Although that didn't happen for Luke Skywalker. They announced Luke Skywalker. I expected to see things go way, way down. And sure, some of them did a little bit. I think that was kind of the bottom of the market. But I mean, Pokemon's a whole different beast. I don't know. I really don't know. Anything Pokemon, it could be. There could be 10,000 Pikachu. That thing is going to be $100. Maybe not that much. It's going to be a lot. Like I would, if they announce Pokemon, I told people I'll still go to Comic-Con. If they announce Pokemon, I don't know. Like there's actually a decent chance that. Okay, so I recognize that not everybody is as crazy big a Pokemon fan as I am. I don't think I would ever spend any money again on anything else except for Marvel Mighties. Marvel Mighties, Lokis, and Pokemon would be. And again, I know that you can still make money with other things, but I feel like I haven't really gone over my obsession. Like, you know that I had a whole business in Pokemon, and it made me a lot of money, which loyalty, but also when you're younger and you didn't have computers and there wasn't a ton on TV and watch the same Pokemon stuff over and over again, play the games over and over again. There's no Halo out. You had Pokemon. You had Mario Kart, you had a bunch of these cool things. There was no Fortnite, there was no Minecraft, there was no Gears of War, there's no Assassin's Creed. The major video game renaissance hadn't really happened yet. You had Pokemon. I've probably spent 35,000 hours doing Pokemon related things. Playing the games, watching the show, watching the movies, collecting the cards, playing the cards, doing the business. I've spent probably well over 30,000 hours on Pokemon related things. I am more obsessed with Pokemon. Like, you remember that 50 Cent track, I love you like a fat kid loves cake? I love Pokemon more than fat kids love cakes. I love Pokemon. It's the obsession is not healthy, and I got yeah. So obviously, not many people are going to be like me. That's saying like I'm only going to buy Lokis, Marvel Mighties, and Pokemon. But there will be a bunch of people that will sell a bunch of stuff what they have because of the hype of Pokemon. So yeah, that's yeah. I guarantee you nobody else in this community has spent $80,000 on a Pokemon card. Maybe they have, maybe, but yeah, that's how deep it goes. So I would say Pokemon will definitely bring a lot of people to Veve, but at first you might see a little blood. Cool says Pokemon, in my opinion. Sam says SoCal, that's true. There are diehard Layer 1 users, and if Veve used their platforms, it could spur more diehards. Yeah, but the diehards are very few and far between. And the diehards isn't how you get mass adoption. Now, I get that if you advertise the OMI token, you'll get people on Veve, and you'll get major people on Veve spending a lot of money. But it's a lot of work for things that are going to happen anyway. Like, you don't need to do that for people to come in. You could go and work and spend countless hours and manpower and money on that, and it will get people to do that what you want sooner. But that is going to happen anyway, regardless of whether we do that. And one says Pokemon or a successful game. Yeah. I think Veveverse. So back to Randy Chavez fan group. IP that came Veve, NFT could somehow won't. If we have a really good game or games inside the Veveverse, that would really help as well. So homie says Tesla, SpaceX, in my opinion, wouldn't need utility like Pokemon. would be successful, I think. Yeah, and in Pokemon doesn't need utility either. But Tesla or SpaceX would definitely help get the Tesla fanboys in here. Cool. So Tesla would be pumped by Elon. It would be huge. It wouldn't even Elon wouldn't even need to mention it, and it'd be huge. So that OMI Homie says, I still think the team is well understaffed relative to roadmap, even 2 years out to altcoin peak. I mean, they're hiring all the time. I mean, and they're growing all the time, and you have growing pains. You can't grow too quickly. You do not want to grow too quickly. Is it a little slower than I think I would have liked? Sure, yeah. I mean, and obviously, what I think is appropriate is slower than what most people would have liked. So if it's going slower than I would have liked, yeah, I understand why everyone thinks it. But I've seen companies that grow too quickly and they get too big too fast, and then it fudges them. It hecks them up. But I think, and I mean, they're hiring all the time, and in a couple of years they'll have even more. So hopefully in the next year or so, they get up to where we think they should be. Cool. Most of Cybertruck NFT? Yes, please. I have an order for a Cybertruck, so I would love that. Oh, dude, same. You don't even know. Prince Toby says, Veve's biggest issue is that they are, a lack for better words, a little cheap. They can totally afford to hire more people to have less crashes, like the Lion King drop or the Gauntlet crafting issue. They definitely have a lot more money that they could use to do their things, and yeah, I mean, being frugal has definitely helped them. I do wish they, but again, we don't actually know what they're spending money on. We know that they have Veveverse stuff they're spending money on, but there's a bunch of capital that we don't know what they're using it for, and you're right. I really would like to see. Maybe there's a reason why they're not hiring more people or spending more money on like a top tier person from someone like Google or Amazon. But I think that they're spending their money on something. We just don't know what it is. SoCal Omi Homie says, the closest thing I found is the interactive AI demo that is a city simulation in the free Unreal Engine 5 engine test network. Nice. Dino Drago says, Bezos Man is Elon Musk. That would be wild if Bezos Man was Elon Musk. I don't think he is, but it would be wild. Collecting Fire says, did you hear the news? Oxygen being created on Mars, which means Veve on Mars one day. I did not, but yeah, Veve on Mars one day would be cool. Ooh, Dino Dragon said Veve mascot would be a turtle. That'd be fun. Looks like the turtle from Super Auto Pets. Yeah, turtle's great. Hold on one second here. Let me take a look, see on something. I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Last take a night on my and wherever it takes me, I'm down. Good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Yeah, animals would be cool. So Omi Homie says David used hair as the mascot. David used hairline, totally the mascot. Veve Wheel says, make the letters into animals and animal patterns that light up and bounce left to right with a Veve song to go. Oh, a song would be great too. That song would be legit. They need like the Jordan Page, like I wanna be the very best. God damn it, that'd be so freaking cool. Prince Toby says, the idea for a Veve mascot is cool. What I recommend is a light blue colored Monopoly man with a briefcase that says IP to show many IPs the company has and to show the wealth of the company. That's really cool. We do have Monopoly. Like they teased that in Decon last year, but they never dropped it. I don't know why. So Omo says, I like that PT. Maybe gold though. Yeah, it could be gold. Could be gold. Brandon M says Feesh. Oh, we love the Feesh. Feesh is great. Mike H says, how about the man who created the O? Drop it from his name. I wish we could have a new logo going forward. Also, Bezos to you, Daddy Chavez. Oh, thank you. I mean, listen, the person that came up with that, that person will have that in their bio forever. That person will have that in their riding those tailcoats forever. Oh, I'm the one that created the didn't create the O. He just suggested that we use that for the OMI, and that person. Kudos to them. I wish I would have thought of it. I'm jealous. So the OMI Homie says that is incongruent with the deeper meaning of the MG Heroes laughing. So OMI Homie says if you know, you know. We all gonna make it. And one says, started a DCA into our weave and loaded more bump. Word. The incorrigible Ghost Slayer says, I'm not good at NFTing. Joined Veve in January 2022. I degen too much, hodl. And I'm in Hero, DC Palm, McFarlane, and NHL Breakaway, bad at NFTing. Your money's definitely diversified. SoCal Omi says, Goat, you are incorrigible. And one says, and Omi bought more Omi today. Try to stop, but it's just a great deal. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I had a couple of friends that bought Omi today. Despite that, it does not have a lot of volume. Let's see where we're at, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we've moved from the 126 spot. We are up 0% on the day. Has changed in the last 2 hours. Mike A says, I'm a huge Omi homie, but don't like that it came from someone who doesn't rep the community and is purposely demean the project. Yeah, I get it. I understand. I feel you. So I got Omi homie says, I respect your opinion. Mm-hmm. Dr. B Soccer says, here, better late than never. Hello, Dr. B Soccer. Yeah. So Omi homie says, I'm sad Batman isn't first appearance on Veve. It is. It is first appearance on Veve. His team announcement from last decon, ours will be better, but damn. Do you mean Batmobile? I mean, the Batman is definitely first appearance on Veve, but the Batmobile... Okay, yeah, you said Batmobile, not Bat. Gotcha. SoCal says, I'm old, sorry. C-Spill, 99s, what up, Randy? Yo, what up, C-Spill? Gamer Lorian says, what is that 15K bet you're betting on? So it's two bets. One's 10,000, one's 5,000. Two different people, and they're both the same bet. I'm betting that Omi hits at least 1 penny at some point in 2024, and they're betting it's not. So it's clear, easy win for me. So Omi always says, there's only one logo under 5K. Floor Rising as cons and end-of-year events approach might drop after. The logo might drop after the event. Or events. It's very possible. Does it go down to 3K? I don't know. I mean, you're going to have some people get in. Oh, fudge. Oh, God, my back. You're going to have some people get in January and be like, what's this gold logo? Why is it worth so much money? And they're like, okay, it's scarce. It's like 1 of 500. There's not a lot of them listed. And, but why is it so much money? And they're just, normal people are not going to know unless they watch Randy Chavez videos, unless they go and they are really active on Twitter. Most people are just not going to know about it because you can't find it on the market. You have to do some wicked Witch of the West stuff in order to find it. And even if they, most people aren't that, there's like, well, if I buy it, okay, well then in order to redeem some of the stuff, I have to travel and I have to pay for the hotel and I have to do this and go to the party and then, just for a couple of, most people are not going to see the value, but the people with money, the people with like power, they're going to see the value and they're going to pay tens of thousands of dollars for it. So yeah. Mike 8 says, thanks SoCal, I'm here for the community, not down for guys who want to trash what we built. But hey, if the O remains, then so be it. Also, can we give our boy Randy a huge hug and tug? I mean, I have a lady friend. Nobody else needs to give me a rub and tug, hug and tug. Oh my God. LMAO. I gotta put that in the Snapchat. It's like funny comments make the Snapchat. And I like it. Okay. Make sure that has surface. Yes, it did. Okay. And like I said, the lady friend will take care of that. None of y'all need to do that. So Omi homie says, sell collectibles, buy logo, rebuy collectibles later after Omi pump. Can do that. If you're a gold and silver logo holder, you can stay at the O house and eventually burn Omi. It's part of GS Gold utility. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that especially as Omi goes up. And there's another piece of utility for next year that hasn't officially been announced. It's going to be great. Dino Dragon says, Veve Super Bowl commercial to announce Pokemon. Thoughts? And what would do this to Omi? Just a speculative question. One, people would be like, what the fudge is Veve? Like if you go and you have a Super Bowl commercial, people would be like, what's a Veve? Like you go and like have a QR code and I'm sure. Oh my God. Well, Pokemon in general, it would. massive, massive attention. It would cost a couple $1 million, but you know, yeah. SoCal Omi Homie says Viviverse Land mystifies me. When yeah, the Viviverse Land is going to be insane. What you could do with that land, what you're going to get with that land, what type of gamification comes with it. You don't even know. I don't even know. But yeah, what would that do to Omi, Dino Dragon? I mean, it might not be much at first, but people would just be like, "What is Veve? What's?" And then they go and look at it. Oh, that's cool. And then once they YouTube Veve and they find that Omi's attached to it, then it might get. It would take a while. I don't know how much that would do to Omi though, to be honest. So got Omi says Viviverse Land mystifies me. Minions Official 33 says when marketing. I would say Q1 of next year. I think they would want to have like good utility for Omi first before they do that. So Omi Homie says, just described Illuvatars in Illuvium. Collectibles available as NFTs from $6 packs. Top seller is 18,000. Which is 9 partner statues. AAA art and interoperability on chain. Just FYI, that is a nice amount. And again, Axie's Infinity. Unless you're into the crypto, you don't really know what that is. And people made hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on that. And Illuvatars and Illuvium are pretty much the same. They raised $70 million last year, but nobody in the world knows who they are outside of crypto and Web3. Everyone's going to know Veve. This will be a household name. This is going to be insane. So yeah, Veve could go, and again, they're going to burn a ton of OMI by doing the land sales, and even if they go and they say half of it's going to be burned, half it's going to be revenue, that's fine. Make Veve a ton of money. RPM87 says, hello, Dashi. Oh, hello. Oh, woof. Omar Kasage says, Randy going to go hammer on Pokemon. You don't even know. I mean, you do know. I just told you, but yeah. JKRB says, can we share our Viviverse, or can we show our Viviverse in Twitter and Facebook, just like YouTube vids? At some point, yes. You can't do it right now. Right now, it had to make you sign an extensive NDA, but at some point, yes, you will be able to. So Omi Homie says, remember when Venkatesh Epico teased Pokemon last year? He's crazy. Epico just got listed on an exchange. You should interview him. Yeah, we've had some fun things going on in the past. It's cool, dude. Cool cat. Jack Turkey. Gamer Lauren says, your Pokemon drive you able to collect all the Veve logo with the same number? Yeah, the Pokemon, yeah. Yeah. I spent way too much. I could have had 180 million on me by now, but I didn't. But I have the 41 logos, which are... I should not have done that. I really just did it for the flex. Kind of solidifying my spot as like Mr. Veve, like Mr. Omi, Veve Omi. Yeah. Yeah. Incorrigible Goat Slayer, thanks SoCal. SoCal Omi says, at gamer can't wait. Yeah. Wes says, will it be a good idea for Veve to go public? Tesla is... Well, Tesla's been public forever. Tesla's been public a long time. Well, Veve never really did a crazy funding round. So like what a lot of other companies do, let's say like Instacart, you had people go in at Instacart, like the last funding round I think was like $50 billion. So people were getting those preferred shares at $50 billion. Not, they're IPOing at like 10 billion. Those preferred shares just get transformed into just regular shares. I don't know how people aren't getting assassinated over that. Veve going public would be great so that people can go and Veve can raise a ton of money. But I really think that I'm sure I'm 100% positive they've been asked to go public before, because Earth 2's been asked to go public many times. So Veve had to have. Veve's bigger right now. Might not be bigger when Earth 2 releases a metaverse, but yeah, Veve's got a. I will bet 1 million OMI that they've been asked to go public before. I'll bet 10 million OMI. Would it be a good idea? I don't know. Great exposure. Be great exposure. If they do, hoping in like 5 years. I wouldn't want them to do it now though. Too much work, too much growth to do before then. Prince Toby says, imagine an Elon Musk NFT in which we see Elon taking a sledgehammer and smashing the Twitter bird into a million pieces as an animated ultra rare. I would totally buy that. Prince Toby says, or other animated NFT of him signing his son's birth certificate and putting just random letters. That'd be great. So OMI says, Feesh just released a Web3. My guess is Veveverse compatible. Pure speculation. Feesh are loaded with utility and community. Brock is awesome. Yeah, dude, Brock is like one of the best humans. Like, any more awesome and he'd be less awesome. He's a good egg. Brandon Evans is Feesh fan. Got huge alpha yesterday. That's all I can say. Oh, that's all you can say. That's all you can say. Feesh. 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 Gotta love Feesh. Gotta be good Feesh dads and moms and parents. SoCal says the gold and silver logo party alone last year is worth at least $2,000 to me, but now go to events then sell. But I'd keep it, not financial wise. Yeah, those events are worth their weight in gold. Gold. Prince Sylvia says Veve Super Bowl commercial would be lit. It would actually make me watch football. Hopefully, if there is one, the QR code is being pointed to by a PNG of Randy Chavez or Queen Veve. That would be great. Oh, that'd be amazing. I was talking to someone older the other night, and I was like, hey, like I wish he would be more public, and he's not. And I was like, the reason why I wish he'd be more public is because there's going to be a lot of people out here that look at Veve YouTubers and investors, and they're going to look at us like a bunch of kids, and they're going to be like, hey, if there were older, super more successful people out there that would, Dr. Prophet's really cool, but he doesn't really do a lot of public things. Came in the mask last year, Spider-Man mask. And so I wish there would be a lot more older people to come in, and not like old, like 70, but like, if just like not 30, not late 20s, early 30s, like in the 40s. I think that'd be good. Because like unless I get like a Forbes 40 under 40 someday, right now they're gonna be like, just at first glance, like what is this guy? I'd be super grateful, and I if I did that, I would clean up a little bit, and tie the hair back and all that jazz. But yeah, that'd be great. Minions Official says save up for Pokemon now. It's coming next year. It's free marketing. We need lots more new users. What is the guess on Secret Project? I don't know. I mean, new verticals like music and other things, like they're not really, they're not secret. Maybe a Veve IP video game, a Veve IP thing. But again, we know that we're going to have gamification. We're going to have IP branded worlds next to Veve City. I don't know what the secret project would be. And David also said that there's something that even he doesn't know about. If it was Pokemon, David would know about it. David says the Veve collectible burns is a lie. This says they burned 13,000 cat. Yeah, it's not a lie. The numbers are being really weird, and why they're showing that. I don't know why they're showing that, but they definitely burned. Like, not a lie. I don't know what that is. Do the following. Oh my, okay. Rip to everyone trying to text. Wes says Randy's back has recovered, but his hairline hasn't. Oh, oh my God. That was one. My back has not recovered yet, but big. Okay, so this also gotta. All right, Wes in fine form tonight. That's that's great. Um, I love this game. Okay, let me get another. Oh, it's so good. This is why I love you guys. You guys keep me laughing like all the time. Hold on. Lord Hashirama, saying if Veve goes public, I bet at least one old geezer would say, "Really, another NFT thingy? I thought those monkey things were a scam." Oh, I mean, it doesn't need to be old geezers. It could be most people that just don't know the technology. Prince Toby says, at least Randy's hairline isn't as bad as Vegeta's Widow's Peak. Be grateful his hair doesn't look like the McDonald's. Man, y'all be roasting people. SoCal Omi says, what's your best celebrity or character impression/impersonation? And please just call me SoCal. How's Taps? Okay, SoCal. Homie. No, I'm joking. Some days I could do Peter Cullen, who's the voice of Optimus Prime. I don't think I can do it right now. No, can't do it. Best celebrity impersonation. I guess John Bernthal's the Punisher. Let's see that dialogue. Let's bring up that dialogue and I'll see if I can act it. I won't go too crazy because my housemate's just out there. Punisher court scene. Okay. And then I'll see if I can get the dialogue. Okay, Punisher court scene script. You are okay. Son of Sam all over again. Frank is in charge. Counselors, jurors, opening credits. Oh my god, this is the entire freaking episode? I don't want the whole freaking episode. Elektra's there. Okay, there's Daredevil. There's Daredevil. There's Foggy. There's Karen. There's Elektra. There's Daredevil. Can we get to Frank, please? Or is he just going to be called Punisher? Should be just called Frank Castle. Okay. People versus Frank Castle. Alright, hang on. Oh my god, there is so much. Marv, Take About It, Foggy, Matt, Porter, Karen, Matt, Karen, Elektra. Is Punisher even in this freaking thing? Like clearly it's the episodes. The court scene, Tepper, Foggy, Judge, no. Matt, yeah, okay, Foggy. I swear I'm looking for you. But this thing is Daredevil, Elektra. Is there no freaking... Okay, hold on. Courtroom speech. Okay, here we go. Spread. Following month. Oh my god, I can't find the script dialogue anywhere. Okay. Courtroom scene. I did it because I liked it. But it's not like it's okay, monologue. Okay, copy pasta. Okay, come on Reddit. Yeah, continue. You know those people, the ones that I put down, the people I killed, I want you to know that I'd do it all again. This is a circus, all right? It's a charade. It's an act. It's bullshit because of how crazy I am. I ain't crazy. I'm not crazy, okay? I know what I did. I know who I am, and I do not need your help. I'm smack dab in the middle, right my goddamn mind, and any scumbag, any lowlife, any maggot piece of shit that I put down, I did it because I liked it, and I loved it. I'm sitting here. Okay, so I don't want to go too crazy with it because, again, people over there. But I feel like I would do pretty well in a brown version of the Punisher. I feel like I do pretty well I feel like acting in general. So I feel like I could really do him. Deadpool. Oh, hey. There was so I know like nobody knew me before this, but from like 2014 on, for like several years, I cosplayed as Deadpool, won awards for that stuff. I got prizes. I did really well. So I feel like I can do that. Just, I guess, Ryan Reynolds version of Deadpool, but Deadpool in general. That's about it for celebrity stuff. Where was I? Oh, and Taps is doing well. He just got married. He may or may not be back from his honeymoon. We'll be in touch soon. And so he says, But Vegeta was able to get his very own Japanese ad for a Vegeta-themed fridge, so maybe if his hairline gets so bad, we can get a Randy Chavez-themed fridge. Speaking of Vegeta, we have on my... Where is it? Where is it? Where are you, girl? Ryo Horikawa, Vegeta voice actor, is going to be, Speedy Comics saying, the moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. Vegeta is coming to Dubai. Ryo Horikawa, the voice actor behind the legendary character, is the reason many of us fell in love with manga through Dragon Ball Z. A big thank you to Rashid Al Farooq for making this possible once again. This is a fantastic opportunity for us to meet the hero who shaped our childhood and continues to do so with Dragon Ball Super. So if you want to meet him, he will be in Dubai in September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th at Times Square, Dubai. Times Square Center, Dubai. That's what they'll be in. Okay, moving on. SoCal says Lords, Princes, Randy pulling royalty. Good times. Says, I bend the knee. Oh, thank you. No need. David says, you need to talk to Veve before I sell all my 900 collectibles and never come back. I talk to Veve all the time, but... So you're saying that you have... you want them to update the numbers that they said they burnt 13 Captain Americas, but the app is only showing 52. I think that's just a bug within the app that's showing that. If you want to put in a support ticket, you can. I don't... Like, I can't go and be like, hey, fix this real quick. Like, I could be like they know it's off. Like, they know the number is not representing the actual number that has been burned. But that's... Yeah. So that one always says, hope the Queen is doing well. Long live the Queen. We love the Queen. Love her so much. Prince always says, sometimes I wonder if Randy is royalty. He would make a good king. He has a very kingly face. Ooh. Ow! My back. Ah, my body. Ow. Okay. How do I look? Do I look kingly now? Oh, no. How do I do Vegeta? I am the Prince of all Saiyans. Once again. Okay. My name is... No, I can't do... I swear, sometimes I could do Optimus Prime so well. Can't right now, though. Just trying to be kingly. Okay. Super chat going in from Stan saying, do you have any insiders info on the writer's strike? What has failed us this year? Vivi's my only entertainment. I do know somebody that they have said that it does seem like the writer's strike will end sooner rather than later, probably before the end of this year. I don't know. Outside of that, no. And this is someone that heard it from someone, so my friend heard it from someone that heard it from someone, so this is... And that's what it says, like, rumor is they're close to doing a thing, it'll settle soon. The exact words I heard was, it'll probably end sooner rather than later. I don't know when that is, and that I heard like 2 weeks ago. A bunch of things could have changed. I don't know. What else is it? Did I have something else from Dragon Ball? Wow, I swear, there was another voice that I could have just done, but I don't remember what it was. But Wes has amazing voice acting. Oh, why, thank you. I thank you so much. Mike 8 says, imagine how many tents would form our beds. Airman Chavez would shave his head. I wouldn't be able to go to work for weeks. So, to that, I think I screenshotted it not too long ago. Okay, it was before that. I'll show you what I looked like with the shaved head. This was right at the end of basic training. Like, this was so let me make it a little bit darker so you could see it. So you could tell it's me because I have... Oh, you can't really see it in this one, but the super faint tattoo over there, and then you can't really see the Triforce, but it do be there though. But yes, that was me a little over 10 years ago. I was a youngin', a wee youngin'. But also I have to go. I do have to go and take that Snapchat again because that is hysterical. You guys are so good tonight. Let's see I swear there's other stuff that I used to be able to do really well. Maybe not Brock from Pokemon. Give me other shows, and I feel like I can do it. I'm Ash, the Chosen. No, not Ash, the Chosen. Hey, no. I'll keep posted. Do we need She-Hulk NFTs for the airdrop? No, we do not. We do not. Prince always says Randy could voice an American character in anime. I'm pretty sure I could. Yeah, I could do that. Energy, peace, man. My friend Veve. That's what I kind of like modeled my voice after when I was. My voice was super deep when I was younger. He's like, hey, it's Dave. Like, oh, he would just had this deep. I don't know. He had a super deep voice though, and I'd be like, oh, hey. I remember in Spanish, I didn't realize my voice was this deep. 7th grade Spanish class, we got to pick our like Spanish names, and I picked Nacho. So they had us do like a thing like for like when the parents came to like school, they had us do like a thing in Spanish and say like, we'd say, oh, my name is X. So I'd be like, oh, instead of like my name is Randy, I'd be like, oh, me amo Nacho. But I said like, me amo Nacho. But it was like, me amo Nacho. Like it was just so masculine. I was like, oh my god, that's my voice. And then anyway, moving on. Energy says SoCal OMI homie. Oh, I'm sorry. SoCal says David, not a bad play actually, as long as you buy OMI. How many MCP you got? Stan, thank you for super chat. Any insight into the writer's strike? I know I just answered this. Hopefully it'll be done sooner rather than later. That is last I heard. SoCal says send lines and characters for Randy to do impressions for us. Ooh, yeah. Oh, for sports and music. Those are the next verticals. Yeah. Totally send stuff, and I'll try to do voice impressions, especially tomorrow. Prince Toby says, I know the best character Randy could voice in anime is Madara Uchiha. Basically, he's a crazed warlord that is reincarnation of the god of Naruto Universe's evil son. Oh, Harley, the sweetest tool in my box. Now, I'm trying to do the Mark Hamill Joker. I'd laugh if it weren't so pathetic. What the hell? I'll laugh at it. I think it kind of hurt my voice when I did the Punisher, so I can't do it for too long. So Cal says, Weverse will make this so much more interactive. Agreed. I beg your pardon. Oh, yes, the Thor. No, even that. It's off today. I don't know why. Omar says, Loki Alligator 1 comic releases next Wednesday. Love it. So Cal says, I think Loki will be the first QR code on screen for Disney Plus. That'd be great. I'd love that. Okay, let me put this. Oh, I could do Yoda as well. Confront you, the level of Jedi Knight, the Council does. But taking this boy as your Padawan learner, I do not. Qui-Gon believed in him. Qui-Gon's defiance I sense in you. That you do not. I feel like I say that scene, like that scene like lives rent-free in my head. Prince always says, another character Randy could voice is Doflamingo from One Piece. Both characters have crazy energy, weird as heck. Google Doflamingo walk and you'll see why, okay? What's the Doflamingo walk? Let's just go to the YouTube, because we have that. Doflamingo walk. I can't show it because when I showed something last time, the count I want to the count censored I got a YouTube strike thing because so I couldn't monetize that video. I was very, very salty about that. It was like a 3-hour stream. Okay, all right, yeah, I get the walk. All right, yeah, I see that. I can't show it, but kind of walk like that now since I hurt my back. Oh, all right. That is the show. I have gone for 2 hours. There is no more comments. I feel like I've done fairly well. Oh god, hiccups. Ooh. Namco says, happy Friday, happy date night, but I caught Miles trying to move in on my girl. Oh, that's amazing. So here is Namco figuring as Miles with his lovely wife Tina. Should have shown that first. And then the Miles trying to move in on the gal. What is she holding? Is that a baseball bat? I don't know what she's holding. It's right next to her purse. Anyway. I love that people going and just on date night, and they're like Vivi's best power couple, but on date night, just, hey, let's play with our Vivi NFTs while we're at this restaurant, while we're at this bar, while we're doing this. I feel like eventually that's what people are going to do. Like the norm. Well, not the norm, but it'll be very commonplace. And people are like, oh, okay, they're just playing with their Vivi stuff. Kind of like Pokemon Go. And that's it. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Steve Cannon. All right, bye. Meow, meow. Thanks for super chats. Meow, meow, Randy. Ooh, my elbow did not